Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So I had a special request to test out Dead Space Remake on PC, running with my overclocked MSI Vanguard RTX 5090 graphics card and Ryzen 9 9950X 3D CPU. So firstly, as always, I'll start by showing you the graphics settings really quickly. So currently we're running a render resolution of 3840 by 2160 on my 4K 144Hz display. HDR is enabled. We wait 2 or 3 days for the process on YouTube. Variable rate shading is off. We're using TAA for anti-aliasing, and TAA is set to high. And then all these other graphic settings are ultra preset with RTO, ambient occlusion, and all the settings are fully maxed out. So we're going to test 4K native, and then we're going to test 8K to see if it even runs, and then we're going to test 1440p and 1080p native resolution, see how everything runs in place. And then we'll also test out DLSS quality mode, probably at 4K and 1440p. Now this game has always been known to have a lot of stutters and optimization issues, so we're going to go ahead and test it, see if we get any serious stutters. And one person also mentioned in my video request to try lowering the refresh rate to 60 Hertz and put on VSync to see if the stutter still remains. So I will do that towards the end of the video, and we'll see how everything runs in place. But enjoy the show. I'll be quiet for now. You can see the 1% lows rate at 36, so goes to show you it's probably not going to be a good experience, but we'll try our best to maintain with what we got. Enjoy, guys. A whole bunch of different pathways to take, so I'm not really sure which one to take, but we'll try to take what's available. But so far, not any serious stutters. I am noticing some frame time blips.
It died. We shot that fucker right between the eyes and it didn't die. Smith had to shoot its fucking arms and legs off. For God's sake, send help!
But nothing too serious in terms of stutters. I think this is originally where I came from when this level started, so I don't really need to be over here. So. I'm trying to remember if there was a way to move these. Like, was there a... can't remember how to do it. I don't know if I have that ability yet, but there was a way where you could move objects. But perhaps I don't have that yet. But anyway, so far 4K native, averaging 156 FPS, 1% low at 69, max FPS at 187. Alright, let's set DLSS quality mode. Reset the afterburner. And that puts us in the 200s, so that's pretty impressive. Oh, there's a huge stutter there. Really brought down our 1% lows. I'm gonna reset the aspirator, but yeah, obviously there was still a stutter even when enabling DLSS. Gotta remember how to time this right. There's a way there we go, got it. Whenever you don't play these games for a while, you kind of forget the controls, but it looks like I got it that time on the first try. Scary. I've noticed it's mainly during a traversal where you see the stutters, like you'll see like the 1% lows drop. But that seems to be the issue, is during traversal. It looks like 4K DLSS quality mode averaging 232 FPS, 1% lows at 108, max FPS at 295. Alright, let's go back to TAA for base aliasing, and then let's try to figure out where the resolution is. Let's lower this down to 1440p. One moment for monitor to respond here. And like I said at the end, we will test 4K native with a locked frame rate at 60 Hertz to see if it'll reduce the stutters, but we'll see how 1440p here it runs. A bunch of those plasma pickups.
Message retrieved.
Vents into engineering. You got a stasis module handy?
It definitely does scale very well with these lower resolutions. I know this uses a Frostbyte engine, but yeah, 271 FPS average here at 1440p native, so really high FPS, but unfortunately the stutters are still present though. I can't get over how many of these plasma energy things are. It's crazy. Okay, so 1440p native, 271 FPS average, 1% low swing at 101, max FPS at 332. And then very briefly, let's enable DLSS quality mode, so we'll go ahead and enable that. Reset the afterburner. Ooh, huge stutter there. Reset the afterburner one more time here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything before I go through that door. Another look here, make sure I didn't miss any doors. Yeah, I think I was here earlier. Yeah, I was here. And then this door over here is locked. Down there's the control room. this is where the door is, I believe. Okay, so 1440p with DLSS quality mode, averaging 329 FPS, 1% low, say at 129, max FPS at 381. Alright, let's go back to CAA, and let's lower down the resolution to 1080p native here, so 1920 by 1080p. One moment for my monitor to respond here. Reset the afterburner, and then we'll see how much this scales here at 1080p. 1440p was pretty impressive FPS, but now we're in the 370s here, so definitely scales very well, but of course it is unfortunate about the stutter. See, there you go, 8 FPS, 1% low there because of that stutter. And then, like I had already mentioned, we'll do 4K native with a 60 Hz refresh rate to see if that'll remove the stutters by some chance. It was a special request by somebody, so we'll test it out at the end of the video. So now we're back in the control room, so back to square one basically. Data board missing. Yeah, they gotta find the data board, that's what it was, what I had to do, but didn't quite succeed with that yet. I was here earlier, I believe. I think. Could have sworn I saw that thing move. But yeah, it definitely does scale very well, but of course it is unfortunate about the stutters. But it looks like 1080p averaging 323 FPS, 1% low say at 105, max FPS at 386. Alright, let's go back to 4K. Give me one moment for monitor to respond here, and then we're going to lower the refresh rate to 60 Hz to see if we'll still have those stutters here. Probably just test 4K native, but we'll see if we'll decide to change the resolutions to see. Now this is obviously going to lower the GPU utilization. Well, let me see if that, I don't think that applied. Refresh rate, vertical sync. Okay, got to apply vertical sync, that's why. Alright, this is obviously going to lower the GPU utilization, but just out of curiosity, somebody did ask me to do this. And we'll see if that will reduce any of the stutters here. Yeah, like I said, this is where I started off here, so do a little bit of traversal, a little traveling, and then we'll see if we get any stutters here. 4K native with a 60 FPS frame per second cap. Trying to think if I could move this stuff. I don't have the ability yet, I don't think. So yeah, I will say overall it does help out a little bit to lower the refresh rate to 60 Hertz, but of course obviously you're going to be limiting performance as well as GPU utilization, but it does seem to be a little bit better, I would say. Alright, let me go ahead and turn off this frames per second cap, put it back at 140 Hertz, 44 Hertz. Reset the afterburner. I think that gives you a good look at Dead Space 2 or Dead Space Remake on PC. Ooh, huge stutter there. But if you did enjoy the video, do give this video a like. If you want to see more content like this, more RTX 5090 gaming benchmark on my Ryzen 9 9950X 3D CPU, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys for another video presentation soon enough. And again, that brings you Dead Space Remake on PC. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.